welcome back to House of the Dragon. Season 2 has been a real treat. It has not dipped in quality from Season 1, which makes me very happy. Now, is Daemon having more visions? Can't escape the magic of the old gods.
I can't understand.
I can't either, I'm trying. And they get to bring her back even more, hell yeah. Oh? Now it's not real and everything, but damn. Is the head still talking to him? Because that's very creepy. Ooh, I love it.
And added their levies to the Christian Cole's host.
See, you're falling behind, Rhaenyra. You need to make a move.
You might place a feather pillow over his head and speed along your inheritance.
Excuse me?
My grandsire.
All very touching.
He straight up told him, just kill him already so you can actually work with me. Damon's an asshole about it, but he makes a good point. I mean, a lord who's just bedridden the entire time and can't make any decisions, so you all just sit there doing nothing, is kind of worthless.
Your mother must have been very beautiful.
Great niece.
Does she know? I get the feeling she knows what's up with him. I won't give it away in case it's not obvious yet.
I know who he is, Corliss.
Ooh, she does.
Alan's past is no fault of his.
Where has that woman gone?
I suspect to try and draw us all back from the abyss.
Yeah, but it was too late. And very risky, and she shouldn't have done it, but she did, so here we are. The very piece that she fixed for... Oh. And broke in the same way. Ooh, wait, I think that was good symbolism for what might be happening in this episode, actually.
I brewed it myself.
Thank you. Do you believe Viserys wanted Aegon to succeed him?
Oh, I forgot. She's been screwing around with Kristen Cole, so it's for her.
You should have burned them when you had the chance.
Perhaps you can, Sir Alfred, when you next sight them on your dragon.
Exactly. Shut the fuck up.
You know, any of this is because of Baela's efforts.
We could perhaps act if only we had a host of our own, or someone here to lead us.
Mind your tongue, Sir Alfred.
The Queen did not name you Hand. It is her voice and that of the King Consort.
Didn't name you Hand either.
And command our...
Ooh. Yeah, you better be afraid.
My lord.
Of course you only show respect to the man when he walks in, though.
He's on the march.
Where is this? I don't recognize the sigil.
Men of House Darkland!
Ah, Darkland.
Bend the knee to the troops.
Sacking your queen's own castles and putting up people to the sword. Kingmaker.
Rightly so.
Yours will come in kind.
He got off a final few digs right before his death. I appreciate it. Stuck to his guns.
Daemon, of all people, has taken Harrenhal.
Well, that castle is more crippled than I am, Your Grace. Sir Kristen is marching on Rook's Rest.
Oh dear. Oh no.
How do you know this?
He sent word to me.
And not to you.
Audli Nongieri, Jumbie.
Damn. He said, fuck your authority. I'm the one in charge.
Segiton. Billy Vazni.
Can't even speak it.
Ventured into the lamprey pie at last night's supper. Too far, I fear.
He knows. Might as well just be honest.
The significance of Viserys' intentions died with him.
That's actually very well said.
Yes, it did.
Sometimes it's easy to forget that this is a fantasy and not just a period political drama. So I really appreciate these supernatural moments. Is that Aemond? Oh. Yeah, it sure is getting weird.
I'm no woman at all. I'm a barn owl. Cursed to live in human form. It's a hard thing, I imagine, to give obeisance to one who replaced you as heir. Here, drink this.
I love her.
Need your
I
sleep.
absolutely love her.
To your side.
I once vied for Queen Rhaenyra's hand. Before she wed Seleno. I always liked her spirit.
Oh, it's you.
She had the true blood of the dragon.
And you.
Oh dear. Damon, you gotta get a grip here. I know it's not exactly that easy when old god magic is present, but still.
Formidable opponent.
You bore me.
They are a rather boring bunch, I'll give you that. Off to make a hasty decision, are we?
Perhaps.
These idiots, oh my god.
What thoughts would you have?
I'm the king.
Okay. But what are your plans?
Do you think simply wearing the crown imbues you with wisdom? In the hope that you might be half the king your father was?
Damn. She's like, I don't give a
Tread
fuck
carefully.
anymore.
Or what?
Ooh.
You'll hang me, as you did your rat catchers. Do simply what is needed of you. Nothing.
Well, shit.
Did you forget the little encounter we had on the road to Rosby? What, grown tired of living, have you?
You afraid, sir?
Of dragons? Yes.
I'm rational. I see no other point.
Welcome back, Rhaenyra.
Where? Before I was to end it, I needed to know that there was no other path.
You should have known that already, Rhaenyra.
To act.
We need to send a dragon.
You know you do.
I will go.
My queen.
You cannot burn
I will
Cole's
not-
lines and withdraw before King's Landing could even
You lack
raise
the
alarm.
experience.
No offense, but you don't have experience in war either, Rhaenyra.
I will meet Cole.
The tension is building. Here we go.
I should have told you when you first became heir to the throne.
The Song of Ice and Fire. Ah, we finally get to see Sunfire.
Because I was unsure that I believed it myself.
That is a very pretty dragon.
Who sits the Iron Throne is not just
Aw.
a king or a queen. They
A sweetheart, too.
are ordained to lead the Seven Kingdoms, to strengthen them.
They're really gonna hit me in the emotions with this. I'm almost positive of it. So we get our first big battle of the show. Let's see what they can do. Ooh, she looks fucking cool with that crown. Oh, that's kind of cool. Almost like a dinosaur, just blending in with all the forest.
This.
He is a bit of an idiot, yes.
Bombas! Vega!
What? Aw, she's just a tired old granny. Things are getting a little messy. Alright, Rhaenys, fuck him up. Oh. Oh. Oh, their blood burns? Interesting. Yep, there goes that wing. Getting his ass kicked by Melis. But here comes Vhagar to ruin all the fun. This is playing out a bit differently than it did in the book. He straight up said, I see my opportunity to take him out, and I'm going to take it. Don't do it, Rhaenys. Just fly away. No, just change the story. Just go back. Get as many shots in as you can. Come on. They're kind of fighting like two eagles, like clasped between each other's claws. That's cool. Good, get wrecked. No. No. They have to look at each other while Melis dies. That's so sad. This actually is getting me a little emotional. You were doing so well. Oh, you'll fucking get yours one day. I promise you that. Like one burst of fire couldn't have killed you. One horse trampling you. Right over Rhaenys' corpse. That's awful, dude. Great symbolism. Great imagery. But that's awful. Don't throw a fit, he's not dead. But he's definitely seen some better days. Wow. What a great episode. That was really good. Let's jump into it. Where to begin? Because there was a lot about this episode that I liked. Let's start with Harrenhal and Daemon, as the episode does. For one, I absolutely love all of the supernatural mysticism going on with his visions. Again, it's very easy to forget that this is a fantasy setting and a fantasy show when the politics are so grounded and so front and center most of the time. So it's really nice to see a reminder of that. And it's so appropriate to have it be happening to Daemon in Harrenhal because, again, it is such a cursed place. The Isle of Faces right next to Harrenhal is covered in weirwood trees, which are, you know, heavily related to the old gods and weird magical bullshit. So for that to be happening and attacking like his guilt and insecurities as he's trying to sleep, even while he's awake, I love it. Absolutely love it. His vision of Laena, his vision of Rhaenyra again, which thank God we got to see Millie Alcock again. I'm very happy they decided, you know, we have an opportunity here to bring her back. Let's do it. Because I won't lie, out of the two Rhaenyras, she was probably my favorite. Still think Emma Darcy is doing a fantastic job and everything, but really loved Millie Alcock's take on the character. And we actually got ourselves a real scene with Alice Rivers this time where she's just so cool. She's like, oh, am I supposed to be afraid of you? Am I supposed to not say the things that are gonna really poke at your insecurities and everything? Well, I'm going to anyways, because I'm a witch and you can't do shit to me. Really great stuff. Loving it. On one hand, I applaud them for not making it really obvious that Rhaenys is going to die in this episode. It's not really showboated or like, ooh, let's give her a good send-off so she's a super focal point of the episode and everything. Like, she's about as prominent in this one as she's been in most episodes of the show that she's been a part of. The only moment that did seem like I suppose a slight hint was that she goes to Alan and very clearly knows who he is. That, well, again, I don't want to give it away just in case people haven't kind of figured it out. All I'm gonna say is I think they gave something that was for Laenor to Corlys here in the show, and that's all I'll say. Alicent seems to be really struggling with the guilt she's now feeling over more than likely misinterpreting the words of Viserys. Again, we as the audience know she misinterpreted it, but it seems she's now like, oh shit, I think I did get it wrong, damn it. You know, she's poring over the histories, trying to find any mention of this Song of Ice and Fire to see if what Rhaenyra said is true, even though I think she knows deep down, like, yeah, Rhaenyra's telling the truth. I messed up here. To the point where she don't give a fuck when she's talking to Aegon. She's like, what are you gonna do to me? You're gonna kill me? You're gonna banish me? You're not gonna do shit. And what you should be doing is sit there quietly, be grateful, and let us do the work. Because we know what we're doing, and you have no fucking idea. Which is true. I mean, she's not wrong. She could have been a better mother to him his whole life and actually included him in the process. Actually prepared him for the role better, since that is what she wanted anyways. But since she didn't, yeah, he really should just kind of sit down and let everyone else handle it, which it seems they will now be doing because he is in no condition to do much of anything. But it's not like that really changes anything because, as evidenced by a scene prior in the episode, Aemond is in charge here. Like, he's the one making plans. He's the one speaking to and strategizing with Kristen Cole. The council does not recognize Aegon's authority. By all means, Aemond is king. He's the one who's ruling right now. And now that Aegon is severely, severely injured, and his dragon is also severely, severely injured, it seems pretty obvious that Aemond is going to be the one who is more blatantly in charge at this point. Which is pretty wild, especially considering Aemond let it happen. Again, in the book, it is the two of them fighting Meleys and Rhaenys at the same time. And during that battle, Aegon and Sunfire get severely injured, where Vhagar and Aemond are the only two to come out pretty much unscathed. But I like the change here that he's like, you know what? Let's just kick back and see what happens. Because I know that idiot's gonna get himself killed, which is exactly what he wants. And then when he comes to the rescue, he is the one to horrifically injure the king to the point of nearly killing him. I'm sure his intent was to kill him. I suppose my only problem with that is it downplays how powerful Meleys is and really upgrades how powerful Vhagar is. Like, yes, Vhagar is the strongest, largest dragon in the world. There's no disputing that. But Meleys was a very large, well-seasoned dragon who was still supposed to be able to put up a pretty decent fight against two dragons at the same time before succumbing to death. Here, she does put up a good fight against Vhagar, I'll give her that. They go at it for a little bit, but ultimately she is pretty easily dispatched. And in such a sad way, too. I didn't expect to see her dragon, staring Rhaenys in the face as the life leaves her eyes. They really, put a focus on the affection that the dragons have for their riders in this episode, which is rather cruel, knowing that this was going to be the result. Smart, but a little cruel. Even though I don't like Aegon, that was actually really cute. Sunfire, like, giving him a little poke with his snout. That was actually rather adorable. And I gotta say, Rhaenyra is starting to get on my nerves just a little bit. I'm glad she went into that council and she's like, all right, it's game on, let's go. That's a point for her. But she's still acting rather stupid because her immediate response is, I'll go. Like, dude, you're the queen. You're the whole reason we're doing all this. If anything happens to you, it's all for naught. Which is exactly what her council, like everyone in the room, says to her. And imagine if she had gone, it would have been her that was dead instead of Rhaenys, and this would have all just been for nothing. I'd be like, okay, well, we lost. The queen is dead. Now we're just doing this all for Jacaerys, I guess? Again, I'm hoping we get to see her make some more political and war strategy decisions that are a little smarter here pretty soon. I have a sneaking suspicion of where this season is going to end based off of the pacing of all this. And based off of that, I feel like we are going to end the season on her making a pretty sound and savvy decision. But maybe not, I don't know. Thus far, she's frustrating me just a little bit. For all the fans out there who are just begging for some quality action beats, this is definitely the episode for them. I know of some friends of mine who have been a little disappointed that this season hasn't been wall-to-wall action, which personally I think they need to get over. This is not that type of show. Should have stayed that way for Game of Thrones as well, where it also shouldn't have become just an action every episode kind of show. But this was a nice release of the tension that's been building up. That was a solid battle scene. But let's jump into the technicals. Writing in this episode, I think, was very solid. They made a couple changes from the books, emphasized certain moments that I think were very pertinent to the story, especially this episode in particular. I like that little scene where they have Rhaenys approaching Alan for reasons I won't get into. I like some of the changes they made to the actual battle, where Aemond is basically the cause of Aegon's demise. Really like that change. The pacing was borderline a little too quick, but they did take their time building up to the eventual explosion of action and everything. It wasn't like they just jumped straight to it and then held on it for too long. It was a fairly concise battle, which I appreciated. But we did have a lot happening here. Jumping around the Seven Kingdoms with Kristen taking on all these different castles and adding to his army. But it wasn't too fast. It hit that sweet spot for me. Acting in the episode was fantastic, as usual. I liked seeing the actor who plays Jacaerys really get snippy with his mom as well. It's not the most difficult acting display to, play a character that is angry, but I find him to be doing a much better job in this season than he did in the first. And Eve Beth's performance was also just really, really good. You can see the look in her eyes when she knows that she's probably going to lose this battle, and she tells Melis to attack anyways. And that look of loss, but also, acceptance of her death once she sees Melis die. Almost like seeing her dragon die was enough for her to be like, well, I'm happy to go with her. It was just very well done. Very well done. Her performance in this entire show has been pretty fantastic, and she will be sorely missed, both as a character and as an actor. Cinematography in this episode was, as usual, pretty outstanding. The POV shots that they would use during the dragon battle were fantastic. That shot of the soldier crumbling to dust as Kristen Cole puts his hand on his shoulder was fantastic. Or seeing Vhagar blended into the surroundings as she starts to rise up. Great stuff. Editing in this episode, I would also say, is pretty outstanding. There were some really nice insert shots that, again, just really added to the tension that you felt building throughout the entire episode. Just seeing Aegon's little council ball spinning in its slot. And again, the pacing of everything was deliberate, but also moving fairly quickly, but not too quick. It hit that sweet spot. It was very well done. Costumes and makeup were fantastic. I really love Rhaenys's crown that she wore into battle. I'm not sure what that's supposed to protect armor-wise. I guess just her forehead and her ears. But it looked damn cool. I give it some major cool points. Also, Aegon's armor was friggin' sweet. Didn't protect him all that much in the end, but looked great. Set design was also very nice. I like the look of Rook's Rest. They, I think, brought to life quite well that it is a very small keep. It's not really a super strategic place to get. It was mostly just to get at Rhaenyra's council and to lock Dragonstone off from land, which they mentioned in the episode. And we also got to see a lot of really nice shots of the various apartments in the Red Keep, which I liked a lot in this episode. Sometimes based on the nature of the scene, you don't really get to see the set super well in there. But here I felt like we got to see a lot of very nice angles that actually showed off the sets rather well. And finally, sound design was, as usual, outstanding. The score really fed into the building tension of the episode and really amplified the big battle at the end of it, as well as the more tragic moment of Rhaenys' death. Too much so that actually got me a little bit. Did not get me full-on tears, thankfully, but it was getting close. If they had dragged that out any more than they did, it probably would have worked. And that gives this episode a 9.2 out of 10. Very, very good episode. Again, I feel like this is one that will please pretty much everybody. It had some great political dialogue scenes. It had a really big, explosive action sequence. The only reason I can see people disliking the episode is losing such a fan-favorite character as Rhaenys. But they can at least be happy that they got to see Aegon get shit on for a little while. Aemond and Vhagar are just gonna have to wait. But yeah, I am pretty damn satisfied with that moment. Rook's Rest is a moment that I have been pretty eagerly awaiting since the show began, really. Particularly once Aemond took Vhagar as his mount in the first season. That moment, I was like, ooh, I kind of can't wait to see what happens at Rook's Rest. And I finally did, and I am not disappointed. Rook's Rest was an extremely satisfying battle sequence. And on top of that, the show is still maintaining its integrity as a well-written political drama. So I'm a happy camper. I was very pleased with the episode. And I'm very excited to see the fallout in the next episode. So I will see you all there. And that's about it.